Give me a hell yeah.
what time it is!
Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know. Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. The podcast that you know. Deuce and Mo.
Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know.
Do it for Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. Hey, do it for Deuce and Mo. When it comes to the Kings, it's my favorite show. Do it for Deuce and Mo, Mo. Hey, do it for Deuce and Mo. When it comes to the Kings, big hopes and dreams as we cover our kings. Never cover the kingdom, but we loving our kings. And we covered your prayers as we doing our thing. Big Deuce with the par, Lil Mo on the screen. Solo or together, still do it for team. Never switch up for $1 or revenue stream. So we always got each other, balance out the beam. Deuce and Mo, and that's the end of the theme song. Do it for Deuce and Mo.
We are live!
Hey, do it for Deuce and Mo.
Happy Wednesday. Deuce and Mo live. Morgan, Reagan, how the hell are you on this Wednesday? You didn't sing at the end, so it kind of threw me off.
Oh,
No, you did not. I know. Usually you sing at the end. What's
Yeah,
going on, everybody? How we doing?
What up, Deuce?
Hey, what's up, man? How are you doing, man? Everything good?
Hey, Morgan.
Hi, I don't know if I'm okay.
I'm rooting for
Well,
you.
we'll see right now, Morgan, if you do your gimmick.
Let's go, Kings.
Oh, boy. The NBA offseason is in full effect, but we are going to keep on chugging along. We've got a jam-packed podcast coming up. My guy, Combos Courts. Andrew Salop's going to be joining us. You guys may not know the name, but you should. Former Hooper, played overseas ball, has a podcast. It was just in Vegas for Summer League, so we'll talk some basketball with him. Also, at the end of the stream today, Deuce Mason is going to open up a KD certified NBA Top Shot pack
Morgan
that
is
we're going to
too.
be giving it away. No, I open, you
Oh.
give away. Can you just see? You think I'm like taking a shot at you? Just let me finish. Do you want me to clap in your face again?
No, I just want to be a part of the podcast.
So Kevin Durant curated this. He put this all together. So we're going to open up a pack and give some moments away. And a reminder to the people who won moments last week, you need to get us your NBA Top Shot name so I could send you the moments. I've sent out most, but there's still some from last couple weeks.
Yeah.
I have not been able to send out because I don't have their Top Shot names.
And for anyone that wants to obviously be eligible to win one of these moments, make sure you go into the link into our bio.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
see
yeah.
the NBA Top Shot link. Click on that link. Just make an account. It's free.
Yeah, so we'll do that at the very end of the stream. So, let's have some fun. Let's stop wasting time. Deuce and Mo coming down in 3, 2.
Give me a hell yeah.
Good point, Austin. You know what? Before we start this, I need you guys to do this right here, right now.
What?
Hit the thumbs up.
Let's go.
Hit the thumbs up button. Keep it going. Let's keep it moving. Let's get it up so more people can see. You hear my mic clip there?
No.
Okay, it did kind of clip for a second because I was yelling in it. Make sure to hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe. Oh, you hear that going in and out at all?
No, it's
Okay.
not. I think it's your headphones, bud.
No, it's not. It's fine. I think it's going to be fine. All right. Hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe, all of that. Let's get it started. Deuce and Mo. Come down. 3, 2, 1. Hit my music.
Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. The podcast that you know.
Welcome into the Deuce and Mo podcast, presented by our friends at NBA Top Shot. I'm Deuce Mason. That's Morgan Reagan. Mo, how are you?
You already know I'm great.
I don't know. I didn't know if things were weird between us after the clapping in the face, kind of the yelling. We've been going at it a little bit.
Wait. You're kidding, right? Those are the funnest moments. I don't know why. Those are the moments that I think you are funniest. That I honestly think you're... Yeah. No, I know. It's like you're organic. Some of your other jokes, forced. The delivery's awful. The timing is awful. But when you just do shit like that, it makes me laugh. So thanks, bud.
Thanks for the compliment, the pat on the back, huh, bud? Appreciate you too.
Okay, that hurts. Okay. Physical.
We got a jam-packed podcast. We have to talk to a person that Morgan has not met yet.
No.
Andrew Salop, who played overseas ball. He has a podcast called Combos Court. I've been on the podcast like a long time ago, about a year ago. Figured we need to catch up with him to get his perspective on what he saw in Vegas at Summer League. He was there, talk some Kings, some NBA offseason. It'll be a lot of fun. But we have to start with something that was said yesterday, Morgan Reagan.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Do you think Deuce Mason is high on the Kings just because I simply said they could go over 31.5, which I guess is an insane take? Marc J. Spears,
My
our
guy.
buddy, Marc J. Spears from ESPN was on NBA Today with Perk, with Zach Lowe, Malika Andrews, and had this to say about his Rookie of the Year prediction.
Keegan Murray, because he's going to be on a playoff team.
Ooh.
The Kings are going to end the streak,
All right.
have the best record of all them rookies. So Keegan Murray is going to be your Rookie of the Year because of
Perk?
that record.
Okay. So,
Playoffs and Rookie of the Year?
wait. Not only did Marc J. Spears drop the Keegan Rookie of the Year, but Kings ending the 16-year drought. What was your reaction when you heard that from our buddy?
My instant reaction was to text him. I said, "You dropping playoffs on ESPN?" It's funny. And then Mark also makes sure to tell me that, hey, everyone doubted me when I said the Warriors were going to make the playoffs. And look, they ended up being champions. So I get it. And I think I always talk about Mark to Mark about where the Kings are before each year. He is usually really optimistic or really down. And for me, that's almost too optimistic for me. I love it. I love that it's national media talking about it and everything. But at the same time, like, it doesn't change my mind.
No. I mean, one, to be like just a flat out playoff team. And I think that sometimes, we get lost and we have to remind everyone, hey, there's a play-in, right? Like, to be a playoff team, you have to be in the top 6.
Yeah.
I mean, even Mr. Deuce, who could be somewhat optimistic at times, I'm not projecting something like that at this point.
Maybe he thinks that they're going to make a play-in and then make the
And
playoffs.
then win?
Yeah. Like, that's...
I mean, it would be remarkable. It would be absolutely remarkable to see that. I was just very surprised that Mark went out on that limb. I put a poll question in our YouTube chat. Marc Spears says the Kings will be a playoff team. Do you agree? The options, oh, hell yes, the streak is over. No, this is not a playoff team. And can we see them play first? 50% of people say, oh, hell yes, the streak is over. 46% at this moment say, can we see them play first? So, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to have any bold, hot takes when it comes to the Kings. I think we've made it clear over the last couple of episodes that I feel they're much improved. I thought that Vegas 31.5 line was absurd by points bet.
Yeah.
But, I look at them more as a team that best case scenarios at 500, maybe a couple of games better. But there are so many things that have to happen for them to get to that point.
Sure.
I'm not naive to the difficulty of the NBA's Western Conference or the shortcomings of the team.
You're making predictions based on, everything that you've seen change. And I think yesterday, having Sean Cunningham on, who is like more, not the opposite end of that spectrum, but just, he just thought 31.5 is like, whatever. I mean, yeah, let's wait to see when we see it. And then Deuce is like, hell no, that's way too low. And I'm more, of course, on the fence, not on the fence, but I definitely am the more in between, where I'm like, great, that's great Vegas set it at that, because 36.5 last season ended up being way too many. So, and they didn't think that was going to happen. So they're like, let's set our expectations lower.
I think it's also going to what I said. It seems like some of the national media are higher on the Kings right now than maybe the local people.
Sure. Because the local people, like, it's like, oh, we've seen this all before, but we've also, it's nice when Deuce and I have talked about this so many times off air. Like, we're excited for so many things that have been changed, but so much of this year really truly is going to depend on De'Aaron Fox and how he decides to play basketball this year. And it feels good right now. Feels positive, feels like it's going in the right direction. His mentality, his understanding of what he needs to do, it feels like it's all there. But how am I supposed to predict that, like, just because I am told these things and I see these things, that those things are actually going to take place,
You think Marc J. Spears really believes that?
I do. Wow. I do. I think he wants it. I think he wants it for Sacramento, but I do feel like he believes that because he believes also in, obviously, Keegan Murray.
Well, yeah, let's go to the other aspect of that. Keegan Murray, Rookie of the Year. I mean, based on what you saw in Summer League, it looked really good. I think there's also a couple of things that we should mention. Banchero played 2 games. Chet didn't play a full Summer League schedule. Jaden Ivey got hurt in his second Summer League game. Jeremy Sochan from San Antonio didn't even play in the Summer League. There are many players who didn't play or played limited minutes, so it's not to take anything away, but this class could have some players that can really contribute at a high level. I mean, I think when you're a top 5 pick, of course you're going to be in the preseason conversation for NBA Rookie of the Year. I just think when it comes to Keegan, again, let me just make something clear. I don't care about Rookie of the Year.
Okay. Yeah.
That doesn't mean anything to me. I mean, it's cool for the player, whatever. I want just a player that's going to play a long time. You win Rookie of the Cool. Michael Carter-Williams won Rookie of the Year. Cool.
Yeah.
Tyreek Evans won Rookie of the Year.
Tyreek,
I mean,
yeah.
awesome. Yeah, it's cool in that moment, but big picture
And it's
wasn't.
great for those individuals.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not trying to downplay it.
No.
My point is, though, he'll be in the conversation. I think he's going to have some stiff competition when you've got someone like Paolo Banchero, who is going to be able to put up. He's going to have the ball in his hands. He's going to get buckets, and he's going to be on a team that's probably going to lose a lot.
And that's going to lose a lot, but that's also going to need him a lot, right? And that's exactly what you're saying. Like, the ball is going to be in his hands a lot. So, yeah, we've seen this before in Sacramento where we get excited about certain play from a younger guy, but you also have to understand everything else that is out there. And sometimes people will have their like King's colored glasses on and be like, no, but are you seeing this? And it's like, yeah, no, we're seeing that because we're watching our rookie play, you know, every single night in and night out, where you're probably only watching highlights of the other rookies around the league.
I will say this. So if Keegan Murray is legit Rookie of the Year candidate at the end of the year, it's going to be because the Kings are really good. I don't think it's going to be like, hey, Keegan Murray was awesome. The Kings up 20 wins.
What's really good? What's really good? Like playing?
Playing team around 500.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Man, you love saying that around 500. That
to me, it's funny I don't know how other people feel about it, but the 500 mark almost means more to me than playing. Because, like, you can be a playing team and win 34 games. I always measure, can you get to that 41 win mark?
It's fair.
Think about the 2018-19 season when it was so much fun. It looked like, hey, the Kings might have a shot here. This is a fun team. That was pre-play-in. But the Kings won 39 games. Yes. It seemed like they had a good chance of getting to that 41 win mark. And I'm like, God, that would just be cool to have a winning season. That's a winning year. That just feels good. It feels like you're heading in the right direction. Now with the play-in, if you're getting into the play-in, you win 33, 34, 36 games. I mean, it'll be fun. It's a play-in, but I'm also not under any type of thought process that, hey, it's figured out. They figured everything out. They're going in the great direction. Winning basketball is what's important to me.
And that's important to me. And that's what I've been trying to tell you. Like, I obviously, I guess no, because I could say I value winning basketball, but yes, you're actually talking about the actual numbers. So I understand that. And I understand how you put that above playing in so many ways. I just know that the optics of playing in Sacramento would be far better than not making the play-in and still being a 500 team. You know, the optics.
I don't know. I think a winning year.
I'll take either.
Here's the reality. If they had a winning year, they're in the play-in, whatever, it's going to be fun. So we've got more coming up in just a second. We should mention that today's podcast is made possible by our friends over at the Detail Pros of Sacramento.
Gotta love Nick. He is so amazing. His business is amazing. Both you and I have had express details. I bought one for my dad for Father's Day. It's so easy. You schedule in 3 easy steps. You just go to the website, and Nick is just so helpful. Not only so helpful, but he's so talented at everything he does. And also, if you let them know that Deuce and Mo sent you, you can get a free or upgraded paint sealant that is valued at $125.
Yeah, you don't need to have your car looking like shit.
Let's
break it down this way, okay? Every once in a while, you got to give your car a little extra love. You don't want to be that person driving around with a nasty, like my car right now is a little embarrassing. I need to go see Nick. And what you need to do is go to his website, thedetailprossac.com. He's a Kings fan, local, great guy, support a small business. He does amazing work. We're also presented today by Joey Reagan over at Lion Real Estate. If you're looking to buy a house right now, hit our guy up, Joey. Actually, congrats. I think he's closing a deal soon here.
I think he is, possibly this morning. So congratulations to Joey.
He's helped one of our podcast listeners move from across the country to Sacramento.
Yeah.
They went through him. And so if you're looking for a house in the area, hit Joey up. And even if it's outside the area, he can direct you the right way. Just go to his website, jreagan.golion.com. Easy to work with. It's not great guy. I don't know. Morgan, he's your brother.
I mean, he's just such a relationship guy, right? It's like, that's what's so fun. It's like he's going to be buying and selling all the Deuce bags in Moron's houses. And I'm just so excited for that because people are enjoying working with him as well.
Yeah, hit him up, 916-412-4592. That's 916-412-4592. Or go to jreagan.golion.com. License number 02128070. Okay, we need to stop wasting time now.
Ooh.
Let's talk to a hooper, a guy I'm really excited to chat with. And Morgan, you have not had the pleasure of chatting with Andrew. Let's bring him in now. He played overseas ball. I've got to fix my Zoom feed on my end. Oh, well. Andrew Salop. They call him, I feel like I know you as Combo, though. Andrew, how you doing, man? Welcome to Deuce and Mo podcast.
Thanks so much for having me. It was great having you on the pod. I don't know, maybe a year ago.
Yeah, it was about a year ago, man.
Most definitely. And Mo, great to meet you.
It's so nice to meet you too. I was just listening to your pod coming back from Summer League and everything. So, and I love what you do. So thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
Appreciate both of you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Dude, of course, dude. We like people who love basketball. You love ball. You played it overseas. I want to get your journey for a second. Like, how was that playing overseas basketball? What was that grind like?
Oh, grind's the right word to describe it. I mean, you're in a foreign country. Sometimes you don't speak the language. The food is different. The communication is off, but it's an experience I wouldn't trade the world for. And it was amazing. I don't think anybody had a journey exactly like mine, but I guess you could say that for anybody in life, right? Everybody's journey is a little bit different, but I really appreciate my journey. Wouldn't trade it for the world. And it was a fantastic experience.
Wait, yeah. How many countries did you like? Yeah. Where did you play? I need to know this.
Israel and Denmark.
Wow.
Very brief. I played games before in Singapore and Canada, but I didn't spend whole seasons in those countries. But I spent a year in Denmark and I'd say like 8 or 9 in Israel. So yeah.
Is the basketball, is it at all just so different in each place that you go, each team that you go to?
Oh yeah. Every country is so different. Just overseas basketball, at least back then, was totally different than the way they play basketball here in America. But, you know, that's why I have a little bit of a different perspective growing up in New York City, seeing basketball here, playing overseas, and then obviously watching the NBA. I feel like I got the best of all the worlds, and it kind of gives me an interesting perspective on the game.
Hell yeah. And
you've got the Combos Court podcast. Like, how'd you get involved? When were you like, hey, you know what? I know I'm done playing, but now I just want to talk about it. Like, what made you choose that path?
I always really enjoyed listening to people talk about basketball. It was kind of hard to find shows like that when I was a kid, right? But they had some few and far between. But I did want to start with play-by-play. And then I realized when I was playing overseas, when I started to realize I was done, that I wanted to have my own show. And the easiest way to go about that is starting a podcast, as you guys know.
Dude, no, you got to create the content. And that's what's so cool about, you know, social media, the internet. Is like, you connected with me and it's like, it's just this big basketball community. I mean, you're creating content, we're doing it, people all over the world talking about this awesome game of basketball. I want to ask you something we were just leading the podcast with. Marc Spears on ESPN yesterday not only predicted Keegan Murray to win Rookie of the Year, but he also said that the Kings would end their 16-year playoff drought. When you hear that, what's your reaction?
I don't know about that, but I would say the recent moves by the Kings have been great. I wasn't high on their Tyrese Halliburton move. I'll say that. Way back when, I didn't like that they didn't draft Doncic, and any team that passed on Doncic. But let's focus on current Kings basketball, right?
Hey, you're trying to bring me the pain, man. Damn.
It's real.
I have to be honest here, right? But no, I think some of the moves they're making now are incredible. I love Kevin Huerter. I love Malik Monk. I like who they drafted, and I like it even more now after what I saw from Keegan in Summer League. I think they're making modern basketball moves now, which is really important. And do I think they'll make the playoffs? No, but I think they'll be tremendously improved and maybe fight for that play-in range.
Yeah.
Maybe
What do you
in
mean?
that range.
What do you mean by modern basketball?
Well,
What do you mean by?
So you want guys who could play multiple positions. You obviously want guys who could shoot it. With Malik and Kevin, those are modern basketball players. Malik's not the greatest defender, but Kevin could play both sides. And I think those two are players that, the Lakers need more modern NBA players, right? Like they need shooting, they need defense. And I think that the Kings are now building around their 2-star players in the right way. So I love what they're doing right now.
And I'm kind of with you on the whole, I just don't have a lot of confidence in playoffs this year. I think when you have a brand new head coach, there's things you got to work out. There's things you got to grow and develop together. And so many people push back on that with me because they're like, but look at all the changes. Look at it is better. And it is better. But don't you think the league is still better than the Sacramento Kings for the most part?
Yes, I do. And it's so hard to be good in this league because the league is so deep. Like we saw the Knicks and Hawks playing really well 2 years ago, and there was a regression there. Memphis was amazing this year. That doesn't necessarily mean Memphis will be better next year, right? Not to single them out, but just because you had a great season this year doesn't mean, or a bad season this year doesn't mean because you made some moves, you're going to get better in the next. For your point that the league is just tremendously deep right now.
You mentioned Kevin Huerter and what he can bring on both sides. And I think that's probably the defensive part is one area that maybe doesn't get talked a lot about with him. It seems like a smart defensive player, high IQ guy. Again, you're talking about modern basketball, having some high IQ players is obviously beneficial. What does he do well defensively that could maybe help this Kings team?
Well, he's strong enough to stay with bigs in the post. He could hold them off. Obviously, you don't want him guarding a 4 or 5. For the most part of the game, but he has the lateral quickness to guard guards, and he has great size. I don't think a lot of people think about Kevin Huerter as a big guard, but he has really nice size for a guard and could guard multiple positions. And I think on the Kings, he'll really pop because there's less players like him. Like he'll need to be on the floor because of his defense, and obviously the shooting next to their 2-star players is so important. So I think he's going to get even more opportunity with this team than he did with the Hawks, and he's had great moments with the Hawks.
And you mentioned Malik Monk and I guess his flaws defensively or what he lacks there. What is it that you want to see more of from Malik Monk or that we could see next season to actually see him improve his defense?
Well, I think his offense fits so well. He's going to get plenty of minutes and play great. I don't know if there's too many things he could do on defense differently because he's on the smaller side. So sometimes, it just is what it is. Like Trae Young. He could get better defensively, but he's never going to be an elite defender. As long as you are tapped into what the team is doing and showing great effort, I think that's all he needs to do because Malik Monk is really good on offense. I think he's an underrated offensive player, and he'll bring a lot of value on that side of the floor. And look, man, it's basketball. How much do we care about defense, right? We all want to play offense, right? Offense is more important than defense.
That's the one thing when we talk about the Kings, too, that maybe some miss. The Kings' offense wasn't good last year. And they were just bad. They were bad defensively. Yep. It was not good offensively either. Post-trade of for the Haliburton-Sabonis trade, you did see Fox play better. Sabonis obviously has a skill set that I know a lot of people like. He can fill up the stat sheet, good passer. What do you think that kind of potential is offensively now? You mentioned with Monk and Huerter, but maybe Fox, Sabonis playing a full year together.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely have developed that chemistry together. I know we didn't talk about Keegan yet, but I think he fits so well with them as well. I don't want to jump on your questions too early because I know
no,
you're
dude, we're just talking.
Chatting.
You can take it wherever you want.
Yeah, man. De'Aaron loves to play in transition, and I think that's an underrated part of Keegan's game, so that'll help a lot. And obviously, a shooting big next to Sabonis with Fox, I think that'll help both of them tremendously. And kind of what you're talking about, you have to build chemistry to be a great team, and they're going to get more reps together. Hopefully they're practicing in the offseason together, but experience is everything, and you can't sugarcoat it. It just is what it is. The more time you get to play with somebody, the more comfortable you get.
Thank you. I try to explain this to people. I keep, I always talk about, Andrew, I always talk about patience and like people are like, the Sacramento can't be patient anymore. But I'm like, that's just not realistic. That's not how a sport works. That's not how basketball works. Like you grow together unless you can plug in a Jason Tatum, a LeBron James, boom, let them take it away. And then you guys can go somewhere else. But that's not this team. And they're going to have to develop together and grow together. And speaking of developing, Keegan Murray, you mentioned him. I want to hear what you liked about him in the summer league.
So he strikes me as one of those players that have NBA experience, even though he doesn't, right? Like, it's like you watch him play, you're like, oh, okay, if you didn't know who he was, you'd be like, okay, that's like one of those NBA guys who maybe will play 1 or 2 games and then we'll shut him down, And then you realize this guy's a rookie. Maybe part of that is because he's a little bit older than the other rookies, but he just strikes me as a guy who you would think would have NBA experience. Obviously, the shot looks great. He could guard multiple positions. And I think there's a reason why I could give you the reason why people thought his upside wasn't incredible, because he doesn't have eye-popping athleticism, and maybe the self-creation isn't at the highest of levels, right? But he has the starter kit. Like, you see the hezzy pull-up. You see the step backs, right? The handle does need some improvement, but you see it in transition. He could push, make the right decision. And the number one thing I think about when I think of Keegan is the poise. Like, he is super calm. A lot of rookies in summer league play rushed. They want to prove themselves, but he has that patience, as we just talked about, and he has that poise. So I loved everything I saw from Keegan.
Yeah, the athleticism angle is interesting because you're right. It seemed like people, during the whole draft, the lead up to the draft, they kept talking about a ceiling. You don't have to be like an elite athlete to have success at the NBA level. I don't think anyone looks at Luka and is like, hey, man, that's an elite athlete. Jokic. Like, these guys kind of play at their own pace. If you've got the skill set, if you're smart, you can shoot, you got size, I think you can last in the NBA.
Yeah, he doesn't have the eye-popping facets of athleticism, but I would say, you mentioned Luka, and him and Luka are actually elite in one common area when it comes to athleticism: deceleration. When Keegan gets to the rim, he knows how to slow down, which is also part of your mentality, but it's also part of your athleticism. Just that ability to slow down, it allows you to get to the line, and it's definitely conducive to being a good finisher. Like, just the ability to slow down. The league's best players have it. Kyrie Irving, James Harden, SGA, maybe not one of the league's best players, but he's elite at that. Luka definitely knows how to slow down in the lane, and I noticed that in summer league more from Keegan than even that I noticed it in college. So that was amazing.
Wow. Do you think now, because we started our whole conversation with Marc Spears talking about playoffs and then rookie of the year for Keegan Murray, is it too weird to be like, hey, he will probably be in that conversation during the season? Or is it really just going to depend on what the team is doing?
Yeah, it definitely helps if the team is winning. If they make the playoffs, it'll help a lot, right? I hope for them they make it. But I would say that I think Paulo will win rookie of the year. I don't actually think he has the highest upside. To me, Chet has the highest upside. But Paulo, Keegan, definitely in the mix. We got to see what Jaden Ivey does, because he looked explosive in summer league for the time he played. And then you always got a few surprises. So I think Keegan will definitely be in the mix, and I think he will help that team right away. So I'm excited for him and the Kings.
Yeah, you mentioned Jaden Ivey, and of course, lead up to the draft, that was talked a lot about. Number 4 spot for the Kings. Should they just take a guy like Jaden Ivey, although he may not be, ready day one to contribute to a team that's trying to make the playoffs? The guy has elite speed, right? The athleticism. He does a lot of great things out there. Still a work in progress. I'm just curious where you were at before the draft on the whole Keegan Ivey conversation when it came to the Sacramento Kings.
So I would have drafted Jaden, but I didn't have the information that told me that Jaden didn't want to be with the Kings. So I think you always want to draft somebody that wants to be there, that wants to be in the building, that wants to be with the team. I think the same thing happened with Chet. I think there was a great chance, I don't know this for sure, that Orlando would have drafted Chet, but Chet didn't send in his physicals, right? So you kind of want to draft a guy that wants to be in the building, that wants to be with the team. And obviously we saw from Summer League that it seems like the Kings made the right fit, made the right pick.
So you think that actually that matters so much more now? Because I feel like back in the day, we would hear Steph Curry he wanted to be in New York, and then I mean, really back in the day when Chris Webber didn't want to come to Sacramento,
Yeah.
you know, like I get it sometimes when it's Sacramento, but I'm kind of like, screw you, get your ass over here and play anyway.
I also think part of it though is like if they didn't have Keegan and Ivy separated by much, maybe that's what tilted in Keegan's favor. It's like, hey, he fits a serious need, a guy who's got size that can shoot the ball, high IQ guy. He could play right away. Oh, and by the way, he wants to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
You're right.
I see the thinking.
Right. If they're almost equal in your mind, or maybe you edge Jaden slightly when it comes to best available, you definitely have to think about fit, which Keegan was the better fit, right? I always want to go best available over fit when you're dealing with like lottery teams and teams on the lower end of the spectrum. But I mean, the fit was better and the guy wanted to be there. So it looks like the right pick right now.
You're talking about Chet, and you seem very high on Chet. What jumps out to you about him? Maybe, I know you were in Vegas too. What did you see in his game that you really like at the next level?
Man, it's funny because as much as I thought of Chet as being a unique player before I seen him play in person, when you see him in person, man, it is interesting because the guy's athletic, he's tough, but then he's always on the floor at the same time. Like he's always falling.
Yes.
So it's like, it's really interesting to watch him play basketball. He is so skinny, but I think he's everything you need in the modern NBA when it comes to the big, when it comes to being a big in the modern NBA, like his rim protection, his feel on that side, on the defensive side of the floor. I think he's a difference maker right away. And on offense, he just has everything you need. He could pick and pop. He's a lob threat. He could even create in the mid-range with those Dirk one-leg shots, right? He's showing some of that as well. So to me, I just feel like he has every key you need to average an effortless 25 in the NBA, and I think eventually he'll do so.
And he talks a lot of shit.
Yeah.
I mean, look, man, you got a wrestling background. You know you like that.
Yeah, oh, dude, love it, man. It's just, and it is interesting to hear the conversation about him because I think so many people are conflicted that he doesn't look like he should be good, right? He's just like this skinny 7-footer. People go, Sean Bradley. I'm like, okay, you've never watched him play.
Right.
There's no way you could even say that. It may take him a second, right? And that's okay. He's still a young guy, but man, you talk about the offensive tools, even defensively, what he's capable of. I mean, he looks like he could be a really special talent. I'm just looking at that OKC squad. I mean, you see Jalen Williams, you see Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Josh Giddey. They got some legit talent.
Do you think OKC is going to be better than anyone thinks this season too?
Yeah, I think they're going to turn away from tank mode. This is the season for me, even though it's not a good season because we got Wemby coming out, who I think is probably the best NBA prospect in the past 10 years.
Wow.
And this might not be the right season to like turn away from tank mode, but I just think if all those guys are healthy, it's going to be really tough for them to tank.
Yeah, they've got some pretty talented guys. You mentioned Wemby. I just saw a highlight of his posted today, beating a guy off the dribble. I'm like, this guy's 7'3". I think
what are you going to do?
What amazes me, and you obviously played at a high level, this skill level of these players coming up now, it's insane. Like the league is more talent than ever. It's they could definitely afford to expand at this point. Like get a team in Seattle and Las Vegas. There's so much talent. The young players coming up are insane.
Yeah, it's incredible how much talent there is coming up. With Wemby, it's almost like I think Chet's going to be an all-NBA player one day, and it's almost like Wemby is Chet 2.0. Like he's even a higher level of that. So that just shows how high I am on Wemby. And you're right. And I think like these last 3 or 4 drafts, and I think this draft included, they've all been good drafts. Like, and we're going to continue to see that. And the result of that is that like the average middle of the road NBA player is closer to the star than ever before. And I think we're seeing that because you see these having a star on your team doesn't mean quite as much as it used to, right? Like, I think just chemistry means so much now, right? Playing the right style of basketball means so much. Not revolving offense around one guy means so much. So it's great to see where the league is at. And I just can't wait to see what's coming up next for the NBA. I'm
with you on that on so many different levels. And that's why I think I have so much fun watching a team like the Miami Heat, right? Just so disciplined on the floor. And they have an identity and they stick to it. And if you're not going to stick to it, you're going to get your ass on the bench. And like, the standards are there. And I want to see that more and more around this league. And I think a team going back to Sacramento, it's a team like Sacramento needs that. I don't know. Do you know anything much about Mike Brown? We've heard some really good things. We've heard, he sets standards. He has this OCD-like mentality where it's like, if it's not perfect, it's not good enough. So what do you think of Mike Brown?
Yeah, I love it because I love his experience. He's been coaching a long time. I think the Kings have done this, take a coach from the Warriors experiment before and it didn't work, but this coach has a lot more experience than the last one. And I love the move. I love the hire. I always thought that Mike Brown and Kenny Atkinson, for that matter, should be head coaches in the NBA. Kenny had the opportunity. He obviously didn't go through with it, which is okay. I guess maybe he's the next in line with the Warriors, but it's definitely great to see Mike Brown have his own basketball team because it's well-deserved.
What's your biggest question mark with this Kings squad? I mean, obviously the offseason, we're still in the middle of offseason. They could maybe get involved in some other stuff. People think that Monty McNair may make another trade. But looking at the roster as it stands right now, what's kind of the big question that's keeping them from being that playoff team or even a for sure play-in team?
Can De'Aaron Fox make that leap? I think that's the biggest question because it's kind of been wavering over the past few years. We know he's a really smart player, a really smart person, a really talented player, one of the faster players in the NBA. And I do think, as much as I said the middle of the road a player is as close to the star than ever before, I do think you still need that high-end star player to get it done in the NBA. And he has the best chance to take that leap on this team. And he has to be the face of the franchise. So I think a lot of it comes down to him. Sabonis is going to be solid. You know what you're going to get from Sabonis. But I think De'Aaron Fox is the key.
Yeah, I think we're definitely with you on that. And I think a lot of people are as well. It's like, can you take that next step? And my expectations for him before last season, going into his 5th season, were high. I was like, he's got this. And then it was so disappointing. He put on some of that weight, and then that honestly affected the way that he was explosive and going to the hole. But it's nice. It seems like he's understanding things this season a little bit more, just from what we're hearing with interviews and everything. And I mean, sometimes talk is cheap. I get that. But still, it feels different. Do you think it's him at times that's just been in his own way? Or do you think sometimes he hasn't been taught how to play basketball the right way in the NBA?
I think he knows how to play basketball for sure. To me, it felt like he didn't want to be there at times watching the way he was playing basketball. You mentioned it looked a little bit better second half of last season, but he just struck me as a guy that didn't want to be in that situation. I mean, I don't know him personally. I don't know that to be the case, but just reading body language and the way he was playing, it did not seem like he wanted to be there. But I think things are changing and they're building around him in the right way.
Yeah, I also think there was probably some frustration. And probably didn't sit.
For sure.
I mean, really, when you look back at the teams he's played on, who have been his best players he's played with? Like Halliburton,
Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah, and hey, we love Tyrese, but obviously that fit. For whatever reason, it didn't click. Which is I don't want to look too far back. No, hindsight, let's talk about.
But Tyrese could fit with anybody, in my opinion. Like he's that guy.
I mean, I like Tyrese a lot. I understand the thinking of the move, right? Like they want to end this stupid playoff drought, and they're like, "Hey, we get a chance at an all-star level player in Sabonis who's still 25. We're not going to be able to move Fox because of the contract and how he's performed.
And
recently.
it sounded like from reports Tyrese Halliburton had to be in so many different deals for anything.
Dude, you're trying to get an all-star. You got to give up something big, and they gave up. And I mean, look, 2 years from now, we could be looking back at this if the Kings are winning 33 games and Tyrese is on the all-star team and the Pacers are killing it with Mathurin. Yeah, it could be one of the worst trades ever. I mean, I really do like Sabonis, but I don't understand why Fox and Halliburton didn't work like they needed to work, why they couldn't take that step. I think partly, too, it was what's around them. It's not like this Kings team was stacked. I just think when you have De'Aaron Fox on your team, if he is not shooting at the level that he needs to, you need to have shooters. You need to have some defensive play. The Kings haven't had really good teams the last few years at all. I mean, that 2018-19 year when they surprised everyone and won 39 games, they beat everyone because they were running like crazy. What was the system? It was De'Aaron Fox, get down the hill, let's run, push. And that worked for a minute, but you still only won 39 games. This is our problem in Sacramento. Andrew is like, we sit here every year and talk about, God, like, how do you just get over that hump?
But there's also never an identity if you haven't seen that, obviously.
I feel like they're closer to that now.
I feel like we're just venting to Andrew right now in this last 30 seconds.
It's
and like,
okay. I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
I have a question for you guys. So somebody asked on a live show with Coach Nick and myself yesterday, what are the best scenarios? Where is a place that Russell Westbrook could fit? And the Kings did come to mind because they're a team that doesn't want to tank, and they're not they're not in title contention, but they do want to make the playoffs. And Russell Westbrook is a guy that can raise your floor.
tell me why you like it. Why do you like it?
Here's the thing. Look, I do not like it on his current contract.
Okay.
But for the veterans minimum, would you guys take Russell Westbrook?
Okay. Completely different conversation, right? Because trading for Westbrook seems absolutely insane.
No. I'm just talking about if somehow,
if he was available, free agent, you could sign him to a vet minimum deal.
I have my answer.
My answer is yes. Of course. You could talk about his shortcomings. I would take it. If you're Sacramento and you had a chance to sign Westbrook to a minimum deal, you take that swing. What's the worst that could happen? It doesn't work, and then you move on.
1 year.
So many people. And the only reason why, and this isn't, you guys, this isn't hot takey or anything. I'm not into that. Andrew, I know we're just meeting. But the only reason why my answer would be no is because I want a sustainable, consistent future for the Sacramento Kings. I don't want to like just get into the playoffs and be like, all right, see you, Russ, and then what the hell is our team's identity, right? Like I want a team that is going to grow together, because we talk about chemistry with you. You know the importance of like a team's buy-in and everyone understanding each other on a whole different level. I'm not acting like Russ can't be that, but from what we've seen with Russ, what makes you believe that he's going to all of a sudden change his role, right? And understand like, no, De'Aaron's actually going to bring the ball,
especially in Sacramento.
Why would he all of a sudden be different?
It's definitely a conversation you have to have with him. Like, what is his role, right? But I would say like he's had positive influences on basketball teams before. Like when he was with the Wizards, he did really well there. He was a great influence on everybody there. He comes to work every day. I think that's something that young players could learn from. And I'm with Deuce. If I could get him for the minimum, I'm taking Russell Westbrook.
So
I am taking Russell Westbrook. And you definitely have to have a conversation beforehand, because the self-awareness is the biggest issue.
But that's the thing. Don't you feel like who? I feel like the only person that could have that conversation with him is like Greg Popovich, right? I mean, why would he all of a sudden listen to Mike Brown in Sacramento?
Well, here's the thing.
It's worth the risk, in my opinion, if you're trying to make the playoffs.
Doesn't it go against what we were just saying with Sacramento? Hey, modern basketball. The guy he won't shoot, he won't defend, and his attack. I mean,
Come with me, guys.
I had trouble watching him last year. I felt bad for him because, I know it's like, hey, social media, let's all clown on Westbrook, but like, let's not ignore what he's accomplished in this league. I think he has struggled like a lot of star players do with the realization that, hey, you may not be that guy anymore. You're not the guy that was in OKC averaging a triple-double, winning an MVP. Like, that's not who you are. You have to evolve. Some of the best guys ever. Kobe struggled with that. He struggled to evolve and realize, hey, I'm not that guy anymore. He had that mentality. So I felt bad for Westbrook last year, but I guess I thought going into last year, if it was going to work, he needed to buy in. He needed to have the off-ball movement. It just never felt like it came together for them. I don't think he's as bad as he was last year either.
Agreed.
But I have questions about kind of his mentality. Like what does he think who does he think he is now?
Right. That's the conversation. If I'm a decision maker for the Kings, I sit down with Russ and I say, watch Bruce Brown videos. Watch those videos. Be Bruce
Think
Brown.
about what you're saying. Hey, Westbrook, you've won an MVP. You've averaged a triple-double. I need you to watch some Bruce Brown.
No, because if he embraces that role, he'll be a better version of Bruce Brown.
Imagine if he embraced that role with the Lakers.
You guys.
With AD and LeBron?
If anyone could get through to him, it is going to be so fun to watch him finish out his career, right? Like,
right.
I want that. But until I see that and it can actually happen, think about it. Melo had to be blackballed out of the league for him to change his ways and understand, okay, like I got to change my role. And once he did, it was practically this beautiful finish to his career, we can say, right? And so like with Russ, you want that, but some guys just aren't capable of that. And I'm starting to believe he might be one of those guys.
So it's absolutely no for you if you get him on the minimum.
It's a no for me.
Wow.
I
But
know.
isn't that crazy where we're at?
I
Like there's people
know.
that won't take Russell Westbrook on a minimum contract.
People
That means
will
it wants
blast
to-
me
that mean-
for it too, and I don't
I'm
care.
sure they're gonna. Well, I'm sure the Kings fans listening to this are gonna blast me for even mentioning.
Oh,
Russell
they are.
Westbrook.
Yeah, for sure.
That's
Yeah.
fine though. We gotta, you gotta end off with a bang. You know.
No,
Yes.
there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. So you were in Vegas for Summer League.
Yes.
We mentioned Key. I'm curious if there were some other guys that you saw up close that jumped out to you, besides maybe some of the obvious ones.
Frankie Ferrari.
Oh,
I give Frankie a lot of credit because they brought him in, and talk about buy-in.
yeah.
Right, this guy's been playing. He's been doing the grind for a while. He's in the G League with Santa Cruz last year. They brought him in late after what happened with him. Like he had some weird injury thing overseas, and they wanted him to
Yes.
play, and then he decided to retire, then come back and play in the G League. But Sacramento brings him in like, hey, we need you to just orchestrate our offense in the Summer League. We need you to make Keegan and Nemi Escada look good, put them in good spots. I give him credit for that. He's a pro.
Yeah, I love players like that. Like there was two of them on the Magic. Simpson, who always shoots the hook shot. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
Yep.
Yeah,
And,
saw him in the G.
Tommy Kuzi, like I tweeted that this guy is looking exactly like in Summer League, like he did in college. And then he had a big game after that, maybe a few days later. So I like watching players like that. Maybe they'll get a cup of coffee in the league. Maybe they won't play in the league at all. One guy that you will be familiar with that I really like, I've been high on him for the entire college season. I talk about modern basketball players. He fits the modern NBA perfectly. Ben Mathurin. Like I think he's going to be big impact this year. Obviously, guy could shoot it, an elite athlete.
A dog.
Maybe not the defender yet, but he has all the tools to be an elite defender as well. And he's going to be such a great fit next to Tyrese. So I really enjoyed watching him play.
Yeah. Do you think he and Buddy will have to actually wrestle for the ball at times?
Stop.
But Buddy could catch and shoot, right?
Yeah.
Actually, they both can.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on Mathurin. Pre-draft, I liked him a lot, and then seeing him in Summer League, Kings played the Pacers, and the guy great body. The guy's strong. He could shoot it. Plays with an edge and a toughness.
Just a nose for the ball.
I mean, again, you talk about big. We said this on draft night too. You could have been in a world where the Kings had Tyrese Halliburton and Ben Mathurin.
Yeah.
And in a weird way, you're going to be paying attention to what Indiana's doing for years to come and how that backcourt kind of comes together, because that technically could have been the Kings' backcourt if they kept Halliburton and moved on from other guys.
Also, what did you think of Jalen Williams, Santa Clara Jalen Williams with OKC? Because to me, he stood out and was just tremendous, and I wasn't expecting that. I'm not a college hoops junkie or anything, so like he surprised me.
Yeah, I found it interesting. They drafted two Jalen Williams, but I think he played great, and I think he could have impact right away with that team. I liked him at Santa Clara, and I think he's going to have some real impact this year. I think he will actually get minutes, so that's great to see.
Tari Eason had some nice moments with Houston too, man.
Yeah,
he looked really nice.
That team is going to be really interesting with Jalen Green, him, Şengün,
yes,
Kevin Porter Jr. I mean, that team is just really fun, and I can't wait to watch them play. Like, that's going to be a fun game. Them versus the Kings. When's that happening?
Yeah,
dude, I can't wait for that.
Speaking of, the Western Conference too, because you mentioned that, and we're talking OKC, we're talking Houston. It's like, hey, there's going to be fun to these teams, and who knows if OKC's out of that tank mode kind of thing. Portland, how do you feel about Portland? I always stick up for like what Dame can accomplish with a team, and then you add Jeremy Grant, then hopefully you have Nurk all healthy, Simon's signed and everything. How do you feel about their team?
Obviously, it's a lot of how Dame comes back, because he's had abdominal injuries and you never know how that goes. But Dame was going to get criticism no matter what he did there, right? Like, since he's staying, they're going to say he didn't care about winning. If he leaves, he's ring chasing. So he was just in a situation that no matter what he did, there's going to be guys criticizing him. But he secured the bag. He lived up to the name Dame Dollar, right? I think he's going to make $60 million in a year. The first player ever to do that. So shouts to Dame. I do not think they're legit title contenders, but I think if everything goes well, they'll make the playoffs, and it's probably a team you don't want to see.
Yeah, I'm mixed on him. I like Jeremy Grant. Of course, it's just Dame. It all hinges on what he can do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think they'll be better defensively, which is big. I like Jeremy Grant a lot. I think he could be a great fit. In some ways, it feels like he's underrated. The way people talk about him, act like he went to Detroit and they sucked because of him, and it's like, no, he could still do some good things. Should he be a number 1 or number 2? Probably not, but he also should be doing more than he did in Denver, right? Like I think he has proven that he can do that, and I respect him so much because when he came in the league, he didn't have this type of skill level. That guy's worked his ass off to be a productive player in the league and make a lot of money.
Yeah, I like his game a lot. Obviously, he has experience going deep in the playoffs, which is so important. And he showed he could be a main option on a team. I guess some people feel like that's not his ideal role, like being the number 1 guy. And he doesn't have to be here because he has Dame. So, and honestly, in some situations, he might be a number 3 option. I mean, we got to see how Anthony Simons develops. They're going to have a really nice team.
Okay, what do you think about, another one. What do you think about Minnesota in having Cat and Rudy Gobert? How do you feel about that whole situation and just how we keep on talking about how the NBA evolves, but then you have someone in Rudy Gobert who at times we saw couldn't come out and was a liability, especially deep in the postseason. What do you feel about that?
Well, I've said that I think Luka wins MVP next year. And then the year after that, Anthony Edwards is definitely in the mix for the most valuable player award. And this tells me that Minnesota believes that as well, because they leverage their entire future to bring in another all-star player, which gives them now, yes, Anthony Edwards hasn't made an all-star team yet, but it gives them, in my opinion, 3 all-star level players. And when you have 3 all-star level players, it gives your ceiling a little bit, your ceiling's a little bit higher, right? So honestly, this is more about Anthony Edwards than even Rudy Gobert himself, in my opinion. I think this is a big bet on Anthony Edwards, and it's a bet I would take as well. Man, that deal really messed up the market for Kevin Durant, though, right? Dude. Because 7 draft picks, man, that is a lot. But as I said, I just think that's a bet on Ant-Man.
I love Anthony Edwards. You know, I didn't love the Cat contract, and I get it. You got to pay him, and the money's going to look absurd, especially new TV deals coming out. The cap's going to go up like crazy. But I'm just like, man, you're going to have Cat and Gobert making that much money combined. I think Anthony Edwards is the dude. I think he is their best player.
If they want to win a championship, he has to be their best player, in my opinion. Yeah.
Damn. Which I think he's capable of. Yes. But you mentioned KD. So what the hell do you think is going to happen with KD?
Nobody knows because he doesn't talk to anybody. He doesn't let anybody know what's going on. He does never. I don't even think the Nets know the reason why he requested a trade. Man, KD, man, just go play in Brooklyn. Just go play there. You think so? Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. I think that's what should happen. The guy's a hooper, so he's not going to sit out like Ben Simmons. Not saying Ben Simmons is not a hooper, but I think the Nets are going into these negotiations, which is the right way to go, and saying, hey, we'll go with what we have. Like, it's up to us. If we don't get a package that's absolutely of equal or more value, which is kind of hard when you're trading Kevin Durant, we're just going to stick with what we have and move forward.
So what's next for you, man? How often does your podcast come out, Combos Court?
For the most part, twice a week.
Cool.
I've been doing that for a long time, and just continue with that. I'm also the co-host of the Believe in Magic podcast for the Believe Network, so I cover the Magic there with my co-host Max Van Alken. I do a lot of live shows with Coach Nick on B-Ball Breakdown. So I got all those things going and just continuing with the pod like I have been, onward and upward.
Dude, I love it, man. You pump out a lot of different content. It's great, man. I appreciate you joining us on the show today, and hopefully we can do it again soon, man.
Thanks, Andrew.
Oh, anytime. You guys are truly a dynamic duo. Appreciate you both.
Putting us over. Let's go.
Hey, we'll take it.
No,
and we need to have you guys on the pod soon, so let's make that happen.
Yeah, dude, hit me up. We'll make it happen, man. Thanks so much for hanging out.
Anytime. Appreciate it.
Appreciate him. Make sure to check out Andrew's podcast. It's great stuff, man. And it's good to get his perspective. The chat was popping when he suggested the Westbrook 1 year minimum deal.
Popping like let's go?
No, like what? No.
Okay, good. You guys on my level. I love just talking to hoopers too. Just even, how they feel, because he's played at a high level. He's obviously understands the game at so many different levels, and it's fun hearing like, okay, well, what do you think about playing with 2 bigs? Okay, what do you think about the NBA doing this and this? And so, I dig Andrew. I'm so glad I got to meet him today.
We got more coming up, but should mention that today's podcast presented by our friends over at
Oh, there he. Oh, okay. Gross. Don't it? Oh, and slobber.
Seasons Coffee Roasters. If you like local coffee, go to seasonscoffeeroasters.com, the official coffee roasters of the Deuce and Mo podcast. You go there, have it delivered straight to your house. You want beans? Drop it off at your doorstep. Huh? How about their awesome bold crew? Their cold brew is so good. That's what I'm sipping on right now.
My mother makes me buy her like $100 worth of the beans, like every time I make an order for her. And she uses, though, our discount code, Deuce Bags, DEUCE bags at checkout for 10% off. So you can use that code as well.
Seasonscoffeeroasters.com. Also presented by our friends over at ESAC Fitness. Oh, who was clanging and banging at 6 a.m.? Oh, this guy.
Oh.
Yes, I am feeling good.
Obviously.
I'm feeling
Why don't you
strong.
show them how you're walking? Like there's a stick up your ass, right? And I think that's a good thing when you leave the gym.
I'm a little sore. Anyway, you should check out ESAC Fitness. It's a great local spot. They've got great classes too. I take the functional fitness class. They have great coaching. The recovery room is legit.
My favorite.
They got the sauna, the cold plunge.
Yep.
They also have spin classes. They've got yoga classes and just an open gym too. It's local. It's not like one of these big box gyms. ESAC Fitness is a great spot to go. So check them out, esacfitness.com, or give them a call, 916-599-3181. All right, Morgan Reagan.
Yes.
Big takeaways from our chat with Andrew.
I appreciated his outlook on De'Aaron Fox and how the Kings will succeed this next season. A lot of it depending on De'Aaron Fox. And I know sometimes it's like, yeah, no, we've all been there, but just hearing it from a different perspective, a guy that doesn't follow and see the Kings every single day, just follows the NBA, follows basketball players and understands what they can do. And that truly is what it is. And the Kings chose that path to go with De'Aaron Fox. So is he up for it? Seems like it so far, but we're just going to have to wait and see.
Shout out to everyone watching us live right now. The biggest thing you can do is hit the thumbs up button. We've got an NBA Top Shot giveaway.
Whoop, whoop.
Hit the thumbs up. Let's get that to 150 or more. All it does is help our channel grow. Make sure you're subscribed. Also, shout out to our people on Twitch, including Poo Poo in My Pants, who resubscribed.
Oh, thank you, Poo Poo in My Pants.
5 months for him. And J Dubs resubscribing. Appreciate him being in the house. Thanks so much to everyone for being here and consuming our content. All right.
I'm just tweeting out that we are giving away NBA Top Shot moments.
Okay, this is something I'm excited for. NBA Top Shot. It's a KD certified pack. Our third straight week of opening up a KD certified pit pack. A pack, by the way, curated by Kevin Durant.
How cool.
He gives a breakdown of the moments, too. We're going to open this up, and we are going to give them away right here, right now, on our stream. Does that sound good?
Give me a hell yeah.
You know what we should do different this time?
Ooh, okay.
So before we open the pack, we should pick the winner. So then the winner gets to also kind of be surprised with what the hell they get. Because usually we would open each pack, right?
No, we don't. we did it that way the last 2 weeks. Literally, we've done it that way.
You're right. I don't know why that sounded so much more exciting.
Yeah, that's how we did it.
We totally did do it that way. I'm not drunk. Okay, I'm ready.
Also, the winners will need to sign up for NBA Top Shot. We have a link in our bio. Click that link. You could sign up. And for the people who have won the last couple of weeks, there's a couple of people who did not provide their NBA Top Shot names. We need that to send you your moment. So without further ado,
Whoop, whoop.
let's open up this Kevin Durant certified pack elite. Let's go.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. I love the music in the background. We've got 5 moments to give away, Morgan Reagan.
All right.
How are we doing it today? I like leaving this up to you, man.
Okay, so today we are going to do it kind of the same.
Okay.
But it's going to be, about me. So, first one in our Twitch and YouTube chats to say, not the first one, I'm sorry, one of the first ones, because that's what I have to say too. Sometimes you might be the first and I'm not going to pick you. It's just
whatever one you see first,
whatever
Morgan.
one I see first.
You're complicating the shit out of this right now.
First one to say Morgan is the best. Pew, pew, fireworks.
Max says Mo is high as in mother effer right now.
Nope, wasn't. That's not what you needed to say. All right, let's see. All right, we're gonna go with reindeer. Okay, reindeer. Let's go with your moment.
Which one? Now we gotta pick. I'm sorry. Do you know? Is this your first time being here for the giveaway? You pick a winner, and then we pick a moment, open it, we give it to that person.
We've already done this twice. I don't know why I'm acting like it's been so long. Vegas really messed me up. All right, let's go with the bottom right for reindeer.
Bottom right, reindeer, bottom right. All right, let's open this bad boy up and see what it is for reindeer. It's a layup. It's a common layup from Drew Holiday, curated by KD.
High off the glass.
Okay.
Reverse.
That was really impressive by Drew Holiday.
I think he finished with his right hand.
This is a nice moment.
Yep.
3,433 out of 9,999 out there. I like this. Drew Holiday with a nifty layup. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, I like that one.
So congratulations to
Can I see it one more time?
yeah, reindeer getting this moment. Going to work.
Oh, that was with his left. Okay.
Damn. Is that on a former king?
That's impressive. Former king, who is it?
Isn't it Jerome Robinson? I forget his name. That's bad. Who was the guy? Justin Robinson? Who was there last year for like 3
I think
games?
it was Justin Robinson.
Wow, that's when you know you're getting old. So many players. All right, what's next? What's next?
right,
Congratulations, reindeer.
Next one, we're going to go top middle.
Oh.
And the first to say crew neck. You like that?
Yeah, I
'Cause
love
it's about me.
that crew neck because Morgan wears crew necks when it's forecasted to be 101 in Sacramento
She
today.
like her crew necks because they feel so good.
While we wait for that shout to our guy Kenneth,
Give me a hell yeah.
he gifted 50 memberships again. So welcome to all the new members. We'll have some new member stuff coming out, some new emojis too.
All right, we got a Twitch winner, and it's Wonderfish.
Wonderfish gets the middle.
Wonderfish gets the middle.
Okay, here we go. Here's the moment. It's a block. Oh, give me a good block. Oh, Vucevic with a rejection? Get it out! Jason Tate, you're going to cross me over? It's okay. I'm big.
defense.
I'm strong. I'm rejecting that.
I love a good defensive moment. Ugh.
Okay. I didn't know he still had that in his bag last year. That is a moment that there's 60,000 of those made, but the serial number is 9,731. And Kevin Durant made these happen. He put these moments together.
Loves a good defensive play.
All right. Well, congratulations there. We got 3 to go.
Okay. So, next one. We're going to go bottom left.
Okay.
And the first one to say Bojack. One of the first ones.
Bojack.
Bojack. Let's see how people spell it.
What last week we gifted a Steph Curry moment. That was
I
like a really. I looked at it.
know.
I'm like, are you kidding me? This one's like could sell for like $1,000.
I was like, why didn't we keep this for ourselves?
Yeah, Ninsage won that one.
Yeah.
I sent that one to him yesterday.
Congratulations, Ninsage.
All right, Morgan, pick one.
All right, so we're going to go with Ellie Moves. Ellie Moves.
Or is it Eli?
Or Eli Moves. Eli Moves. Or Ellie Moves, whatever you are.
Okay.
We are going to pick the bottom left one for
Bottom
you.
left. Eli moves. Ellie moves. It's a layup from the Pacers. Malcolm Brogdon going to work. Look at this old man game. Oh, that was mean. That was mean. Lonzo Ball's hurt in this moment. You could tell he's not moving well. And Brogdon takes him to the rack.
Good job.
Tell me that did not look like an old guy at 24-hour fitness.
You know,
Be honest. It's okay. You can be honest.
that not to say that Brogdon looks like at times on the floor an old guy at 24-hour fitness, but yes, this move right here. But it's just like so fundamental. Look, like come back, go.
Lonzo's
Swing
like,
legs, push
give me my
forward."
help. Where is the help?
Look at the way he pushes.
This is a nice moment, by the way. Yeah, 60,000, but look at the serial
Wow.
number. 1,795.
Congratulations, Eli or Ellie Moves.
Brogdon, you like that pickup for Boston?
Oh, I totally like that pickup for Boston. I think some people are being ridiculous and just thinking like, oh, it's Because didn't they not have to give up much?
No.
And so many people are like, what are you doing, Pacers? But it wasn't working with the Pacers. And I think for Boston, it's just more depth, things that they needed. They couldn't depend on Derek White, you know?
Yeah, and, you take some pressure off Marcus Smart, too. Just having another guy that can get buckets. The biggest question for me is health. Can he stay healthy?
Sure, but it takes pressure off Brogdon as well. He doesn't have to do as much also because Tatum and Brown. So
we have 2 moments to go. We're down to 2. We've given out a Vucevic, a Brogdon, and a Drew Holiday.
Okay, we are going to go with
You know what time it is.
you know what time it is. Type it out. Thank you for that.
You know what time it is.
Type it out. Type it out for me and win a moment.
And which moment are we giving away this time?
Top left.
Top left moment will go to a person who says, you know what time it is. I see. Can I, you know what? I'm picking. Can I pick
Yeah,
one?
pick one.
I just saw the first one that jumped out. Johnny Do It.
Johnny, do it.
Johnny Do It's getting this moment. Write that down. Johnny Do It.
Write that
And then you
down.
said top left.
Top left.
Here we go. Let's see what this moment is. It's an assist from Spencer Dinwiddie. Dropping dime.
Oh,
Wow.
whoa.
Morgan, you played a point guard. I feel like you mainly shot it, though.
No.
What do you think about the difficulty level of this pass from
I dropped
midcourt?
dimes. I was a quarterback, dude. Get that right. For that was dead on. That was just an incredible, a little bit of luck involved with that, but I mean, just a beautiful way to get up there, understanding that he can get up, play above the rim. Oh, wow.
By the way, for those who have won, the thing we need from you is to send your NBA Top Shot name. And for those who haven't signed up, we have a link in our bio. You can sign up for NBA Top Shot for free. There are packs right now. You can get like a starter pack, I believe. Like that's a $9.99. That's a good way to just get in, and it's a digital card. It's fun.
But the coolest thing about this too, that like I've started to notice more and more, is that the community around it is like you just get to talk about these digital cards, basketball, Kings, with so many people within your community. So
I'll drop the link in the chat
Cool.
right now so people know. We have one moment to give away.
all right, I know.
And you guys need to send your name via like social media on Twitter. Just DM us on Twitter
Yes.
at Deuce Mason, at Momo Reagan, or go to deuceandmo.com, click on contact.
Don't-
we need your Top Shot username to send it to
Don't just tell us in the chat because there's too many people talking. You got to make sure you go to one of those, DM us in any way possible to get it to us. All right, top right, last one.
I'm nervous for this one.
You're going to do dropping dimes.
Dropping dimes.
Dropping dimes.
I'm looking for a dime. That's top of the line. Okay.
Dropping dimes, dropping dimes. All
All right, Morgan.
Do I get a pick?
You pick the last one here.
All right. We are going to go with Mike Kirk. Mike Kirk.
All right, here we go. Let's reveal this again. KD, certified pack elite. We're opening up this moment. It's a 3-pointer. It's common. It's from Donovan Mitchell. Where is he going to be playing? Step back.
That's sexy.
Get it off. Did he do that to a Holiday?
Oh, my God.
Nasty.
I could watch that one
Hey,
all day.
serial number 4,383 out of 10,000.
Okay.
Donovan Mitchell. Game. Recognized
Okay,
game.
one more time.
Get off me. Get off me. Bow. That's a
Oof.
dope moment.
Oof. That is, I don't know. That one just gets me. That's good.
We should also note that the Jazz lost that game by 11.
Oh, well,
Sabonis playing that game?
probably.
That's why they lost.
So stupid.
That's why they lost. Leezy's saying it's rigged. Leezy,
Wait, what is rigged?
this whole thing, like that he's not winning. Wham! By the way, Leezy's like Mr. Top Shot. It's okay if other people win, okay? It's okay, Leezy. Settle down. You're in the community.
Poor Leezy.
Oh, man. Appreciate everyone participating.
Yeah, dude. Thank you guys. And thank you to NBA Top Shot, too, for making this all possible and being able to pass out these moments.
Yeah, and make sure you could sign up for NBA Top Shot. Get involved with these awesome digital cards. It's a good way to get these moments.
That one just like
It's fun. It's fun to open a pack. You don't know what
Yeah.
you're getting. You don't know. It's just like old school. When I used to go to a card shop as a kid, I'd open up the pack. You never know. It's the same thing here.
I
And
feel
you
s-
own these. These are your moments.
Well, I feel a little spoiled that we've been able to open up packs every
know.
week. It's kind of I feel spoiled. It's been
Yeah.
a lot of fun.
Yes. Appreciate them giving away some packs today here on the giving away some moments here on the Deuce and Mo podcast. We appreciate everyone hanging out. Like, you want to hang out for a few more minutes?
Sure.
Talk to the people. The podcast over. Let's take some questions. Let's hang out and chat with you guys. Shout out to Andrew for hopping on. Andrew Salop was awesome. You could follow him at Combos Court. Appreciate his perspective. You know, he made people mad by suggesting Westbrook to Sacramento. Yeah, appreciate everyone being here.
Oh.
Mac Nunn, are you going to have Combo back on before the season starts? Yeah, possibly. Bad Tree Production says Iowa fan, now Kings fan.
Wow.
Yeah, I feel like you're going to get a lot of those. I will say this too. We should be talking to Fran McCaffrey, Keegan Murray's college coach, next week on the podcast.
Hell yeah. I'm excited to talk to him after just the summer league, if that's like what he expected from his guy. And I'm sure it is, but still.
Roman, Deuce and Mo, what do you guys think of the Clippers this season? I mean, if healthy, they're going to be a lot of fun. I mean, what are you going to see from Kawhi after not playing last year?
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like they've got what you need. They've got depth. They've got length. They've got two
Coaching.
legit guys in PG-13 and Kawhi. John Wall, I think, is going to help them. I mean, it's a good team.
It
you
is.
had Powell. You've got Covington.
Well, and that's why it was another thing it's not that interesting to me when someone like Andrew says, "No, I don't think the Kings are going to make the playoffs." But I liked his reasoning aligned with what I do try to say, because I think when especially for him, he's played the game at such a high level, so he understands that what it takes in certain leagues to really be one of the best teams. And sometimes it's not all about just like, hey, have improvement. It's other teams are still better because they also improve.
Well, the poll question, let's get that update. Oh, it's ended.
I
You
accidentally ended it when I was
Thanks.
like looking
appreciate you
for
doing
someone.
that. Appreciate you doing that.
So it was an accident. I don't know how else to tell you that.
The poll question was about Marc Spears predicting the Kings in the playoffs. What do you think? What are the results? We'll never know. Morgan closed it.
On accident.
Let's get to some more questions. What's up, Hacks? Are you guys ever going to give your forecasted win total for this year? Yeah, I'll give you a forecast from Deuce's Doppler coming up in the next couple of months. Morgan, what do the poll results show? Read the question and give me the results.
So this was the poll. Marc Spears says Kings will be a playoff team. Do you agree? The Deuce Bags and Morons had the choices of, oh, hell yes, the streak is over. Can we see them play first? And then the last choice. No, this is not a playoff team. 50% said, oh, hell yes, the streak is over. 41% said, can we see them play first? And 7% with the no, this is not a playoff team.
If I were answering that question, I would click, let's see them play first.
Wow, that's fair.
I mean, playoff that's a huge leap in my estimation.
Fair.
You know, at this point in time, I think a best case scenario is 38 to 43. If that's kind of where I'm at this point. Will I have a better idea as we get closer? Sure, maybe. Leezy says, do you think OKC can be a play-in team? You know, I think OKC has a chance to be much improved. But it's also about, in my opinion, what does Sam Presti want from this team? I just think you see Giddey's pretty good. SGA is a really talented player. What's Chet going to look like? I think they've got some interesting pieces. I don't think I'd go play in, but I think they will be more competitive than people realize if Presti allows it.
Yeah, that's it right there. I think when you have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, it's important to capitalize on his youth, to capitalize on what he is right now. There's still so much other youth on the team that I understand where it can be difficult to take that next step and then just be right there in the middle. Sam Presti would not be happy about just being right there in the middle. So, yeah, it's really a wait and see with OKC too, and that's going to be huge. Depending on it's going to make an impact on where the Kings are in the Western Conference too.
Mike says or asks, how big of a jump do you think Davion Mitchell can have this year? Yeah, I mean, I don't know the jump, how you would measure that. To me, I would look at it, can he improve his shooting? That's where he can make a big jump.
Yeah.
You know, it's difficult to me to suggest that, like, hey, he's going to average this many points a game. I just don't, how many touches is he going to get? I mean, you're playing with De'Aaron Fox, right? You got Sabonis. You've got so many weapons out there. I don't know, but I think he'll be better.
And what I also would say to that too, I think his handles to me were underrated at times, right? Like people just not putting enough respect on him as a point guard, a true point guard. Just like he's defense, he's off night. That's what he is. Truly, as a point guard, he could be a good floor manager. Is he better with his playmaking this season, right? That would be another thing that I would want to see from him, the way that he sees the floor, especially if guys are moving without the basketball. What is he going to contribute on that end of the floor?
Mark with the C, Deuce and Mo, do you think Harrison Barnes will be moved or extended before opening night? I know you dropped that in the Discord too, I think. Those are your two options? I mean, I think there's also a chance he's just on the team and plays out the year.
Well, that's where I was going to go with that.
Yeah, I think I would be surprised if they extended him. I think if I were to rank it, I would say stay, trade, and then.
When you say trade at the trade deadline, though, like within the season, not before the season.
Potentially. Like, I still think there's a chance they make another move.
Okay.
But I would put the odds of him staying, then a trade, then extending. I mean, I don't know. Like, if you're Harrison Barnes, I mean, Harrison's made a lot of money in the league. He's had two really nice, one, lottery pick with Golden State, got a nice deal with Dallas, got another nice deal with Sacramento.
Yeah.
He may want to just like test free agency. That could be kind of fun for him to just go test it out. Or maybe he wants the security and he's just cool with it. I don't know. That's an interesting question.
Yeah. No, it is. And I think also when you just look at his off the court life too, just had a kid this last year with his wife, and his wife owns a business in the Oakland or Bay Area. And what does that mean for him? And I think sometimes too, like Harrison Barnes is one of those people that cares about that part of his life as well. And it's not just like, okay, let's just make these moves to make these moves for a little extra money. What makes sense for the entire life? All
right, the Q&A rolls on. I appreciate everyone being here. Make sure to hit the thumbs up button so our channel grows. That would be huge. And subscribe. Shout out to Matt. He says he's new here. He donated $5. Give him a hell yeah. Hey guys, I'm new here, but been binge watching. LOL. Binge watching us? Wow.
Thank you.
You can skip episodes. Like, it's not like a Ozark or some show like that where you have to watch every episode. But if you want it, I mean,
you never know what's gonna happen.
There's gonna be a lot of old stuff. Matt says, I think the 2022 Kings will go as far as Fox takes them if he takes another leap to legit star. Yeah, I mean, if he's good, that would go a long, long way. I mean, I feel like I don't know. I feel like sometimes I'm on an island with just very few people. I'm more optimistic about the team. I still believe in De'Aaron Fox.
But I do too. So I'm on that De'Aaron island.
Okay.
And I think.
Yeah, I didn't say you were. I didn't know for sure.
I'm just paddleboarding offshore.
Okay.
Going, hey, Deuce, I'm right here.
I mean,
I'm right here.
He's got to play better from the start. I just think his mentality will be different this year. Brown gets the most out of him defensively. Sabonis obviously helps his game. I'm down with it.
We'll call it Deuce Island.
Thank you. Welcome.
Welcome.
Mark also says if Harrison were to leave, that would be Monty's third big player to walk without getting assets. Third big player. What am I missing?
Wait.
So Bogey. Well, am I missing an obvious one? A third big player to walk without getting assets. Who else left?
Yeah, I only have Bogey on.
I don't know. I could be missing an obvious one, and it's the middle of July, so remind me. Angelito. Are Fox and Sabonis a top 10 duo in the league?
I don't think you can call them that.
That's one where you gotta wait and see how that all comes together.
Thank you for being there with that. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh my God. Okay, Mark just said Dante DiVincenzo. Stop it. That's why we couldn't think. Stop it. Stop it.
I wouldn't say that was big.
That's the other thing. Like players leave in free agency. Sometimes you go, you know what? We want this guy. We want to try to keep him here. We feel like we have a chance, and I'm not even saying that with DiVincenzo. So I don't look at it like that. I think the bogey one, I think that gets blown out way too much. Like, what were they really getting back from the Hawks if they actually made the deal?
Sure.
And then on the other side, they tried to sign and trade him to Milwaukee, and that fell apart.
For Dante DiVincenzo.
Yeah.
What up, Fred?
You guys ever sell merch in person? No, we do sell merch on our website, deuceandmo.com. Click on merch. By the way, we should have some new merch dropping in the next couple of months too.
New merch dropping.
Yeah, Dante does not fall in the category if we're going that way, and in the whole like losing guys for nothing.
I would like to give Fred a hell yeah.
Oh, Fred, appreciate him. Hell yeah for Summer League. We did
Thanks,
meet
Fred.
at Summer League. Appreciate all the Kings fans we met.
I've met him too at Golden One Center. Just the nicest, the sweetest Fred.
What's up, Troc Talks? How high do you think Monk's ceiling will be in this new offense? Yeah, I mean, I think he's going to have a chance. I think playing with pace is going to help him if they can achieve playing fast. That's what Mike Brown wants. I think he's going to have multiple chances to knock down shots, like for sure. I don't know if like you're going to look at a guy that's averaging like 20 a game or anything like that. I think part of that's going to be dictated by is he starting? Is Huerter starting? What's the minute distribution? But I think he has the chance to really thrive in Sacramento, especially playing with Fox.
And not only that, I think there's now going to be nights when Huerter is off or Harrison Barnes is not having a good one. And you have other guys to depend on. And that even goes for Malik Monk being off one night, but then Kevin Huerter shooting lights out, so there's just, you can call it depth, but I feel like with someone like Malik Monk, there's just more dependability, especially on the offensive end of the floor.
Dean asked, do you think Barnes is on the roster to start this season? I do. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know. I mean, I think so much is the waiting. There's just the waiting game with Durant, Donovan Mitchell, maybe Kyrie. Could they get involved and be an extra team in those talks? Yeah. I think the thing I always get to when we're talking about Harrison Barnes, I don't know why people are so eager to move him. I mean, I think there are teams around the league that would want Harrison Barnes on their squad because he can help them win. And so my stance on this is, if you're Sacramento, you're trying to win games. If you move Harrison Barnes and you're trying to get to the playoffs, you're trying to end the drought. That's what Monty McNair wants, whether you agree or disagree.
Agree.
HB is a guy that can help you get there. One. The other thing is, if you're moving on, who's replacing him at the 3 spot? Yeah. Who's your option? That's what I need to know.
You're
I don't
either
know.
getting just as much as someone like Harrison Barnes, most likely if you were going to move on from him, because that wing spot, especially in the NBA, you're finding so many guys that have to play multiple positions, and Harrison Barnes has had to do that. But I just believe that he can be such a solid wing, especially for the Sacramento Kings, because they have other pieces in place at the 4.
I also don't think they're going to have to rely on his offense as much.
Right.
So I think it's going to free him up to probably play a better role for where he is at the stage of his career. I think he can definitely help so many teams. I just think I think people just like trades. They want things to be different.
Sure.
They want, and
Change.
I get all that, but I'm like, okay, so you move HB. Please give me the deal that you think is going to make this team better in the 3. Like, what are you doing with the 3 spot? You putting Kevin Huerter there? Is KZ Okpala all of a sudden a starter in the NBA after playing, limited minutes in Miami? Like, those are things you have to consider.
Not only that, too, you look at this year for Harrison Barnes, he's going to be playing with better players on this roster, right? Can't that elevate his game and make him more valuable and a more valuable trade asset for expiring deal? better, better play, hopefully, let's say, from him. And then if the Kings did want to go that direction, to be like, you know what, this is where we're at. We're right around that play-in mark where we can trade him away and get different things to still be just as good. Like,
maybe. I just don't know what the deal is.
Obviously, we don't know what the deal is.
Well, I know.
Obviously, we don't know what the deal
My point is, I haven't even seen good ideas that you go, oh, this is going to make the team better.
know.
Like what? Okay, is Keegan at the 3 if you move
No.
Barnes? Like, no, I don't think so. All right,
hands.
Roman. Kings haven't had a defense ranked higher than 20 since 06. Stop it. Don't bring that up. What's up, Keith? Keith says hello from Detroit, everyone. Let's go Kings. Appreciate you
Go
watching.
Kings.
Johnny says Dorian Finney-Smith. Well, I mean, I get why are the Mavericks are trading Dorian Finney-Smith, who they just gave a contract extension to, who does a lot of nice things for them, for a guy in Harrison Barnes who used to play on their squad? I mean, I don't see it. I mean, I don't think they're trying to if they're shaving money, I don't think they're doing it by getting rid of Finney-Smith, a guy they just extended. Let's see here. Who's gone first, says Curtis. Rashawn or HB? Yeah, I think I'm in the minority on this, where I know Monty has said he wants to be aggressive and make more moves. I don't see those two guys being the ones that get moved if they're involved. I don't. I think Rashawn's value it's tough right now because of he came off a really disastrous year for him.
Mm-hmm.
Did not stay healthy, did not play well when he was there. Sabonis trade. There's so personal stuff. A lot went wrong, and that was in the first year of a new deal. I think teams like Rashawn. I just think if you were to move on from him, you're not getting the value back that I think the other team wins the trade. Probably.
Just another guy too to gain his value back in this season and then make that decision, right? Especially, and I say make that decision, it just all depends on where the Kings are toward the end of the season. Are they in the play-in run? Are they not?
Also on the Barnes front, I guess I wouldn't be like shocked if he signed like a couple year extension at some point or stayed in Sacramento. I guess I wouldn't be surprised just based on what you were saying with like, hey, you know what? Like his wife's got a business in the Bay. Like he's been here for a minute. I don't know. I don't know enough about Barnes' motivations. If he's like, you know what? I want to get one more deal and play with a really good team.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm with you.
Matt says, I think if the Kings were serious about trading Barnes, they would have done it by the draft. You're not going to get similar value for him. He does everything you need him to do. Yeah, I like him.
You need it. Yes, I like that last line.
Yeah.
He does everything you need him to do.
Yeah. I have been ignoring, my bad, the Twitch chat. Sorry, guys.
Damn.
Someone mentioning Damian Jones. Okay. Monk better than Dante. You know, I like Monk better than Dante DiVincenzo too. I like Dante a lot. I think Dante, that pickup, a couple of things with the Warriors. Losing GP2 hurts him. He goes to Portland on that deal. They don't want to pay him. But if DiVincenzo's healthy and can kind of play a similar role that GP2 played last year, that could be good for Golden State. And then adding JaMychal Green, I think that's better than Bielitsa last year. This is interesting.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, for a team that so many people are like, what are the Warriors going to do? They're losing all these guys, you know?
Yeah.
It's people, they're attractive to people, you know? So people are still going to want to come. They're going to want to play. And they have a smart front office to just make those simple moves.
Terrence Davis, think he can make another step? Yeah, I think it's going to be tough. You know, I think when you look at this Kings roster, you start going, okay, where does he fit in? And I like Terrence Davis, but I'm just trying to figure out where he plays. You can only play so many guys. How deep is Mike Brown going to go in his rotation in the regular season? I'm sure Davis will be needed at times. And could he crack it? I think so. But, I mean, you've got a lot of guards. Monk, Huerter, Fox, Mitchell. You know, if they add another guard, I don't know. It's a good question. And, you know, it's a long season. Rotations can change. Injuries can happen. You just never know. Like someone was asking about Keon Ellis. I liked what I saw from Keon Ellis. I'd be surprised if he was getting any real playing time to start the year in Sacramento, but shit can change fast.
Yeah.
We saw that last year with the Pelicans. You know, Alvarado was getting ready for the G League showcase, gets called up and, you know, as like a guy who was filling in because of COVID and then earns a deal and he gets legit playing time in meaningful games. Herb Jones, 2nd round pick. Even if they liked him, I'm not sure they were like, hey, this guy's going to be like a really like great defensive player for us this year. Like, obviously. So you just don't know how it's going to play out. Let's see here. A couple more as we wrap up.
Roman. I'm sure we'll see some 3-guard lineups with Kevin Huerter at the 3.
I think he could play some 3.
I do too. He's just a good solid size, right? And we know also he can hold his own defensively.
All right, that's going to do it for us. We'll make sure to have some content coming out on our YouTube channel, so make sure to subscribe there, hit the thumbs up, spread the word. We'll be back with another podcast coming up on Monday, but if there's anything big that breaks in the NBA, Kings-wise, come on, you know we're going live.
And we're always just throwing things here and there. And, we just want to have more and more watch parties. So just make sure you're keeping track.
We love you guys so much, but we got to go.
We'll see you all later. Have a good day. Bye.